You know, as soon as you texted me that you do in fact have a concussion, I came up with today's episode title.
Oh, good. Are you gonna share?
Yeah, it's concussion confirmed.
Oh, yes, because that's. I like some alliteration, you know? And that's like super alliteration because the first three letters. Wait,
It is like, yeah,
yeah, three letters.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
We technically have only one tweet that we're talking about today, but it's a list of things that I think is going to lead into a lot of tangential discussion. But I just want to see how your day was first, I guess.
Well, and that's why I sent it to you, like, because I was like, oh, there's so many thoughts that branch out
There's
from this.
I'm excited to talk about this. There's a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
to unpack.
yeah.
But yeah, aside from your fun little adventure, finding out that you did indeed jostle your brain around. How was your
Yeah.
day?
She said I bruised my brain, and she's reasonably confident I don't have a brain bleed.
Okay, well that's good.
Because if I did, I'd probably be, something bad would have happened by now, like passing out or throwing up or that sort of stuff.
At least
So
we have that
there's
question
there's
mark.
there's that. I'm not supposed to look at screens at all, so yeah, that's gonna work.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Anyway, yeah, whatever. Um, so I just basically continue on and pretend my head doesn't like feel like it's trying to kill me at all times.
Love
But
it.
it's also why I have trouble like she's like, yeah, you have some cognitive impairments. I'm like, shut up. But so if I seem a little off, that's the reason. Um, oh, this was the thing I was going to mention. So, because this is related to a previous topic,
Love it.
the putting of the measuring lid in the washing machine.
Yes.
Because I've been doing that ever since,
Mm-hmm.
measure out my detergent, pour it in there, just drop the cup in, which has been mostly fine. My most recent cup has gotten a bit warped, but
Whatever.
mostly fine. Um, but I was just downstairs, like putting one load of laundry into the dryer, putting a new load into the washer, and realized I couldn't find the cup anywhere. And I still haven't found it. It's got to be somewhere. It didn't stop existing. But the thing is, I didn't have it to measure. So I just picked up the whole thing and went straight into the dispenser. And I basically just held the button down for as long as it felt right.
Okay.
So might be having a foam party at my place tonight. Not really.
And I'm not even there. God damn it.
I was like frantically like tearing through all the laundry in the dryer and looking through the washing machine.
Hmm.
Nope, I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
The problem is it's clear too. Like that doesn't help.
See,
And
mine's
there's such
blue.
poor lighting. Yeah, it's a clear lid, and there's such poor lighting in my basement.
Ain't that just the way?
God awful. And it's of course dark out. So yeah.
Um, Unrelated to anything, in an absolutely shocking turn of events, I am once again becoming worse.
What is now?
Okay, so it's still Ghost. Um,
Okay.
but I'm starting to get really, really into like the lore. And
Okay.
did you know that there is fan fiction for the characters that are played by the members of the band Ghost?
I did not, but not remotely surprised.
Because there is. So it was nice knowing you.
Okay. Going into a different direction there then.
The way I can feel this hyperfixation digging its claws into my brain, unreal.
It's like a tree when its roots grow through the soil gradually.
Yes.
Dig a little tiny.
Yeah, so if y'all thought I was bad before, good luck to everyone who knows me, is basically the point of me bringing this
Yes,
up.
yes, Nixie, come console me.
Hello, Nixie.
That I have to deal with. Oh, your new obsession with this type of fan fiction. That was a very short consolation.
Yeah, she actually, that I'm taking that as Nyx is on my side. And she's like, let your friends enjoy things and don't make fun of them. Not that I think you would actually make fun of me, but.
No, where's that? I was just building upon your own joke.
Of course. But yeah, no, I'm sorry to everybody who knows me, and just another unrelated thing, I will be linking this video because I discovered it recently and it is my everything. The lead singer of Ghost, most of his characters, because he's supposed to be this like demonic anti-pope type shit, like all of his characters, most of them have like Papa as part of their name, so there's like the various Papa Emeritus characters. Shout out to the brave soldier who went to a ghost ritual with a sign that said, Papa, pop this pussy.
Oh, God.
And, like, you can see him. Like, someone was taking a video. You can see him see the sign and just be like, just sort of awkwardly stand there, like, not knowing how to process this.
Reminds me that I saved you a meme.
You saved me a meme? I'm honored.
But again, the problem is I always save them and I just never remember to send them, but that sign reminded me of one.
Like at a concert or just something tangentially related?
No, that sign you were mentioning reminded me of a meme that is not a sign.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. Anyway, whatever. We can move on, but just yeah, I'm becoming worse. That video is my everything. As is the video of him awkwardly catching a bra that somebody threw at him and then just like sort of like standing up at the mic and going, "Thank you."
Well, I mean, what else are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, I don't know. Although, honestly, the next time I go to a Struts concert, catch me throwing a bra.
Oh, wait, I found the meme that I meant to send you, and I'm gonna go ahead and send it, because I want to see your reaction.
Okay. Is it gonna be my call as to whether or not this is shown publicly?
I don't know that it should be.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no, you're broken.
No, I'm fine. I will pull it together. Holy shit. I am surprised that popped up on... I'm just surprised that that's something that popped up on your feed, because you don't strike me as the kind of person whose algorithm would select so vulgar a meme. So, explicit a meme.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that phrasing, oh, Bridget's gonna love that.
What does that say about me as a person?
And other people watching this are like, but what is it?
What is it? Get us to 100 subscribers on YouTube and I will show you.
Yeah, we'll show you all the terrible memes that we share during the pod but never share out loud because they're too much.
Yep, there we go. That's a fun little incentive for people. Goddamn, okay. Refocusing after that.
I did, like, completely changing topics, but I got my sorry you have a concussion treat after going to the doctor.
Yes, what is that?
I got one of those pretzel dogs from my favorite bakery, which...
Hell yeah.
I don't know what they put in them, but there's something so magical. Like, I want to say they put drugs in it that makes it really addictive, but like...
No, it's like an Ant Cookies sub. They put crack in those MFs.
Yeah, I don't know what they put in those pretzels, but dear God. And I got a chai latte.
Ooh, lovely.
I mean, weird combo, but man, did that make me feel better, at least mentally.
So at least we have that.
Plugging the Golden Harvest Bakery in Rochester, because it's...
There you go. If you are around Rochester, go check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Alright, so here, let me pull up... Actually, yeah, here. This is visible in chat. So the thing
that
we're talking about today is this tweet by @ParkerLawyer on Twitter. And it is a list of things that you should do or ask before you marry someone. I'll read them all, and then we're gonna go through this point by point, and like just share thoughts. Do we think this is a good idea? What are our like what responses would we want from a potential spouse, etc. So
yeah, I'm also thinking if there are things that we would add to the list.
we can do that as well. Perfect. So here's the list. Before you marry someone, number 1, listen to them eat a bowl of cereal. Number 2, ask them which side of the bed they sleep on. Number 3, watch them brush their teeth. Number 4, make sure you are temperature compatible. Number 5, survive one cold and flu season at minimum. That is the list. Points made for all of them. Again, we're going to go through them individually. Yeah. So we're going to start with listen to them eat a bowl of cereal. And I feel like this is just, like, you could broaden this, frankly, to just, like, make sure, like, just at some point when you're, like, having dinner together or, like, you're watching a movie and you're eating something, just take a moment and listen. And be like, man, can I deal with this? Can I listen? Is this something I'm okay listening to for the rest of my life?
Yeah, although what if I think with the mouth open.
Oh, yeah. So like, look out for that as well. Personally, but I feel like cereal in particular is like it's I feel like it's a good example because there's both crunching and like liquid sounds involved. So like if you can deal with that, you can kind of deal with anything.
Yeah, that was my thinking too, where it's like because one of the things I think about is like soup, because people that soup.
Okay. Annoying. I don't know if I've ever sent you these audio recordings or if I have only ever sent them to the PRND chat, but Oliver, my sweet, sweet little kitten, I have never heard a cat lick himself so loudly and wetly. It literally, like, he will be sitting across the room and it sounds like he is eating soup. Like, just like the next time he's doing this, I will try to like record it and send it to you, because I have never, and like I haven't been around cats all that much, but I feel like I've been around cats enough to know that, like, this is weird.
That's weird.
Like, he sounds like he is eating ramen.
Do you give him little soups?
I do. I have yet to give him a little soup. I most certainly will. I was
wondering that day before yesterday.
That will 100% be a thing that happens at some point. It just has not happened yet.
Yeah, it sounds unusual.
Oh, also speaking of Oliver, my son refuses to stop taking off his clothes.
Not a collar fan?
He doesn't like the bow tie one that I bought him for Christmas, but he's going to wear it anyway because he looks like such a cute, handsome little man. Sorry, son. Anyway, back to the cereal thing. Yeah, I feel like that is a good test as to whether or not any of their other eating sounds are going to drive you insane.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's one of the like things that seems so little, but after so many years.
Here's the thing, though. That wouldn't work for me. Because I don't do cereal with milk.
Well, right.
Because of my weird texture thing, and also eating too slow and it gets soggy and disgusting. So, like, they would, like...
I don't think you would have any sort of equivalent either, though.
No, I wouldn't. I'm trying to think of one. There isn't one. They would just have to, like...
Two separate things, like chips and, like, soup. Soup and crackers. Do you ever eat crackers when you're eating soup?
Yes, but here's the thing. I have to the crackers are in a separate bowl. I take the spoon, I put the soup in the spoon, I immediately put the cracker in the spoon, and then I eat it. Because... Yeah, okay, so I guess that does work, but, the cereal thing would not work for me.
I know you're a fan of the saltines.
I love a good saltine.
Yeah. I feel like broadly, I mean, I know this is meant to be about figuring out if there's something annoying, but I also think it's fun to like learn about their food interests because I get real excited sometimes when I've like dated somebody who doesn't like, say, pickles.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I'm getting every pickle from every sandwich they get for
Yeah,
life.
you are the pickle friend.
Yeah, so it's nice if you have sort of like it's good to have things in common because you're gonna have to like eat meals together at home and you want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure you like some of this stuff. But it's also nice to have complementary likes and dislikes sometimes.
It's like if you both like the same level of spiciness for like chicken wings, but one of you likes the flat ones and one of you likes the round ones.
There you go.
Perfect.
Like how I like the rounder dino nugs and you like the pointier ones.
I do. Friendship.
T-Rexes versus Stegosauri.
You know they have fucking pterodactyls in like some of the like fancy like organic Whole Foods brands of Dino Nugs now.
Huh. That sounds fun. I want to eat a pterodactyl.
We're getting fancy.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I think this is a good thing. And now I'm
Yeah.
like gonna I don't know if I've ever seen Kyle eat cereal. Now I'm really gonna have to pay attention.
That was actually originally what I was gonna send when I was gonna send this to you. Was be like, make sure you test all these on Kyle if you haven't already.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, so how many of these things have you done this far?
Um,
Yeah, no, I guess I'll have to
yeah.
keep a. I'm trying of all the times that we have had breakfast together. I don't think either one of us has ever had cereal. It's always been like making like eggs and bacon or pancakes or something, or like going out for breakfast. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I agree with this item on the list.
Oh, 100%. I feel like it's just like again, cereal for most people is probably the best like cuz again, you got like hearing them like eat crunchy stuff and hearing liquid noises. Um just yeah, take a second. Listen, do their chewing sounds drive you insane? If so, I mean, I'm not going to say deal breaker, but maybe reevaluate.
Yeah, yeah, or try to figure out some sort of fix to the situation.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would be, but
I mean, attempt, I would say.
yeah, like, have you tried chewing differently?
That'd be an interesting conversation.
Have you considered just putting all of your food in a blender? So
Have you
you don't.
considered not?
Yeah, pretty much.
Essentially. Okay. Next one. Ask them which side of the bed they sleep on. This is. I have a side that I prefer normally, but because of the two cartilage piercings I have not been able to sleep on that side of my body for like several months at this point.
4 months almost.
So, right now, if I were to pick a side of the bed, it would be the opposite from what I normally would pick.
Hmm.
So I'm just in an awkward position for answering this question right now, essentially.
Yeah. I've slept on the same side of my bed forever because like just every apartment that I've had, that side has ended up being the closest to the door.
Yeah,
And so just naturally that's the side I sleep on. And anytime I've tried to sleep on the other side, I end up migrating in the night.
interesting.
And so like um I had a boyfriend that I lived with for a period of time and he liked the same side.
Oh
And since I had moved in with him,
no.
I had to take the other side, and it was very difficult, and it was a very dark time in my life.
I can imagine. Um, I also don't know if I have a quote unquote side, like I have a way that I like to sleep facing, or like a side of my body that I prefer to sleep on. But I feel like my bed, like I don't have like a queen size bed. I have only ever had like a twin size mattress when I was a kid, and now like a full size mattress, which is like not all that much bigger. So like I still kind of take up most of the bed. It's not like there's a side that's it's not like I have ever really had a side that's empty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
That makes sense.
maybe the whole like actual side of the bed doesn't matter thing, because frankly, if I'm going to be sharing a bed with somebody, like if I am like sharing a house with somebody, king size bed, no negotiations.
Yeah, but like if you're like living together too, like you each have your nightstand that has
Yeah.
your stuff on it. Like I would go to bed and my nightstand would have like the book that I was reading
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And so I would be able to get in bed, grab my book. He would have his book on his nightstand. We'd sit there and read, right?
Adorable. No, I
Yeah.
don't really know if I would have a like again, king size bed, this is non-negotiable. I need to be able to starfish. But I don't know if I have an actual like side of the bed that I prefer. I have a direction that I prefer to sleep facing. But again, if it's a king size bed, I don't think it really matters
Well,
because you've got
I guess it,
space.
yeah, I mean, I guess it wouldn't for you if you haven't like had a side, but if you have had a side for most of your life, it does.
So I guess in
Like,
this case, I mean they can have whatever side they want. At
yeah,
least for me.
when I was in grad school, I had like the cheapest mattress possible.
As one
Like
does.
because I decided, I'm going to graduate school. Like I'm a real adult. I'm moving out entirely on my own for the first time. I was like 22. Yeah. Um, and I was like, I must have a queen size bed. But I was also super broke. So I went to Big Lots and got a mattress for $200 with box spring. Like
Girl.
the absolute worst mattress you can keep in mind. This is 2008. I mean, so adjust for inflation. But still a pretty terrible mattress. And it, like any padding on it, wore down pretty quickly, and I could feel the individual springs like on my hip and stuff. So I kept trying to, and it was only one sided, so it's not like I could flip it over. So I was trying to sleep on the other side of the bed that still had cushioning, and every single time I would wake up back on the original side. Like my body
Rip.
believes this is your side. You cannot sleep on any other side.
No, okay, actually kind of interesting thing. And this kind of relates a little bit to point number 4 about the temperature compatible thing, because this has to do with because this is a thing that my mom was talking about. Um we were staying in a hotel room. We were like in a hotel because we were in Algonquin for the 4th of July, and my mom decided to take the side of the bed that was closest to the air conditioner because she tends to she tends to get warm while she sleeps, whereas my dad does not. But that's the opposite side of the bed from at home. So she like tried to sleep for several hours, and then of course my dad just knocked right out because you know how white dads are. But so she like woke my dad up in the middle of the night and made him switch because she couldn't sleep because she was on the wrong side of the bed.
Yep.
Which that made me laugh.
But he probably fell right back to sleep. So
Again, what is it with dad, like white dads in particular?
how
What
about
is
the
it?
hat?
Hmm. Yep.
Just the drop of a hat, they're out.
And it is always in a leather recliner, and it is always looking like they just passed away.
We don't have my parents don't have a recliner at their house, but my stepdad likes to like lay his hat over his eyes to
That
block the
again,
light.
such a dad move. Such a dad move. White dads are a cultural monolith.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think so. Again, I think in your case, you're in a good position that your body hasn't been conditioned to sleep on a certain side of the bed.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to worry. Because then if somebody has a preferred side, you're like, yeah, okay, whatever, I don't care. I'll take the other one. Whereas me, if I go on a first date and I'm like, what side of the bed do you sleep on? And he says the same one, I'll be like, well, it's nice meeting you.
I think that's how you should start dates from now on, frankly.
Or I would go with have you considered not?
Yeah, have you considered not?
And then if he said, no, I would not consider. Okay, never mind. Nice meeting you.
I love it. I love it. Oh, wait. I swear I had some follow-up point that I was going to make, and then it just gone. Scheisse.
Yeah. Huh?
I said scheisse.
Oh. Yeah, it seems like such a little thing, but I feel like it does matter.
Yeah. Oh, it was a thing about again, king size mattress, non-negotiable. I am all for the like every little cuddle session before you go to bed. Opposite sides do not touch me while I am sleeping.
100%. I hate being touched when I sleep. I cannot sleep.
Do not touch me.
If I am making human contact, it is impossible for me to sleep. I think it's like, I'm just not a good sleeper in general.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't take much to keep me awake. And so I think even like someone slightly touching me, I'm worried about like, oh, if I move, am I going to disturb them? And then I feel like all anxious.
Yeah, no. That like can have nice little session beforehand. Then opposite sides of the bed.
Yep.
That's why it needs to be a gigantic mattress, non-negotiable.
Yeah, queen size still doesn't feel big enough.
Right. Oh, and actually, here's another thing. Ask them what side of the bed they sleep on. Mattress firmness.
I was thinking about that too.
Talk about that, because yes, I know there are solutions. You have your fancy sleep number bed type things, but if you don't have to do that, don't, because it's expensive. So, you know, talk about that.
Yeah. But then again, that's one of those things, like, what are you gonna do? You gotta compromise on it. Like, you want pillow top and they want firm, you're gonna have to compromise on the plush.
I mean, again, that's why the fancy, like, double, like, split down the middle ass mattresses exist. But it'd be nice if you could avoid having to spend that kind of money.
Oh yeah, they're like thousands of dollars.
Actually, where are you? What is your preference?
I'm in the middle. I'm a plush person.
I
I like a little cushion, but not too cushiony.
I like a nice memory foam.
Well, I mean, you can have, like, mine has memory foam as part of it. Actually, I don't remember what the makeup of my mattress is. It's got like layers. I don't remember. It's comfy. It's all
I don't know what the fuck is my mattress. It's not a pillow top, I can tell you that. But also, like, some people, I don't understand the way people, like, when you, like, flop down onto a mattress and, like, your whole body, like, just the full body. Yeah, so disappointing. Like, I can't, how do people do it, is my question.
Yeah. Well, then maybe you have a plush, like I do. Because that's the mid-level.
Very possible.
Yeah. Because, yeah, firm is too much, and then pillow top is, like, it's nice for a couple of minutes to sink into it, but to sleep on that every night? No.
Yeah.
Very Goldilocks.
Yeah, no, I do feel that. And also just again, like how many blankets? Although there is you can avoid this. I've heard this as a life pro tip, is that you just each get a blanket. So there's no blanket stealing. You can have as many or as few as you want. So pro tip out there to anyone who may be dealing with a serial blanket stealer in the form of their partner. There you go.
Be like, awesome. Sleep on top of your duvet with a blanket.
Yeah, you know, or you could do that.
At least the one nice thing is you can have whatever pillow you want.
Yeah. Oh, Kyle makes fun of me for my pillow. You've seen my pillow. It's the weird cube. Yeah.
It's very right angled.
It's a very I mean, it's memory foam. It is literally just a brick of memory foam. I love it so much because I am a side sleeper, so it like because your shoulder's kind of square here. Oh, I love it. I love my pillow cube so much. And Kyle makes fun of me because he has fucked up sinuses, so he has to like sleep at a 45-degree angle. So he's like this, and I'm just flat.
Yep. That's me too. Mine's like a nice like side sleeper memory foam, but it has a layer of cooling gel on top.
Oh, nice.
And if I sleep on anything else, like it just I can't. It's awful. It ruins my night.
No, I have to take my pillow with me when I go on vacation. Like, not an option otherwise. And frankly, if I were to travel internationally again, because I have the long one, because I be turning like a rotisserie chicken while I sleep. But if I were to be traveling internationally again, I would get the straight up cube and just take that with me because I can't go back.
Yeah, sort of funny thing is, like, years ago, my parents had bought me this latex pillow, which is a springy delight. But they had gotten like the extra long one, and so I got used to sleeping on that. And so when I bought new pillows a few years ago, I tried to just get the standard pillow like you're supposed to, and nope, my head just kept rolling right off that sucker. I was like, well, I'm returning these and getting the king size.
There you go.
So my pillows are giant and they barely fit on my bed, but that's okay.
I absolutely love that for you. Moving right along to point number 3. Watch them brush their teeth. I don't know if I get this one. Like, why?
Yeah, this was the one that I was least clear on.
Like, why watch? As long as they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, to maybe see if they're doing it thoroughly.
I mean, maybe. Here's the thing. It bothers me when people, like, brush their teeth and they, like, let toothpaste, like, drip down their face. I hate that. I know people do it. It baffles me. But, I mean, again, at least you're brushing your teeth.
Yeah. Or maybe to make sure they brush their tongue.
I have one of those tongue scraper things. It's great. It's so disgusting. But in such a satisfying way. There are so many things that are just, like, disgusting about being a human person that are also so satisfying. When you, like, anytime you dig something, like, out of your face, like blackheads or whatever, and then you just kind of stare at it like, wow, like, that is no longer in my skin. I am free of this.
Or, like, when your skin's peeling from a sunburn.
Yes! Again, I have asked you this before. I have made several jokes about this. Am I just gross? Very possible.
Sometimes. Sometimes, yes, sometimes it's not.
You know what? Okay, I'll take that. That's fair. That is a very fair assessment of me as a person.
Yeah, I didn't really get this one.
Yeah, I am a tad confused. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only thing I could think was to make sure that they are, in fact, brushing their teeth and to make sure that they're doing it, like, thoroughly. Like, you're supposed to brush for 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no, having had braces as a child, the like 2 minutes plus so thoroughly ingrained in my noggin.
Mm-hmm. But what if he, like, puts a tiny bit of toothpaste on his toothbrush and, like, for like 30 seconds, just, like, really quickly, and then spits it up and walks away. And I don't know. You got it, buddy.
Then we're gonna have a talk, TM.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I could think of is, like, you know, their oral hygiene affects you.
Oh yeah, 100%. I would agree.
Make sure they have good oral hygiene, especially if you're gonna marry them, like, you know, and the tweet says, because, like, if they're gonna be losing your teeth, you're gonna have to pay for all this dental work. So there's that aspect too.
Yeah.
Because that stuff's expensive.
Oh, I was thinking even more of just, I mean, if you're married, most of the time I would assume that your mouth touches theirs.
Oh yeah, I know that was the primary, but I'm saying as a secondary.
Yeah, sweet, there we go. Because that was my primary as well.
Yes. Yes. Well, yeah, I just assumed that one without saying.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Moving on to point number 4. Make sure you are temperature compatible. This one is kind of interesting because I think there are several workarounds.
Also, what did they mean by temperature compatible? Because I could interpret that in a couple of different ways.
Well, I can only think of one. Please tell me you're several.
Well, no. 2. That there is what I think is the likely intended meaning, which is that, like, you like roughly at the same temperature.
Yeah, okay, so that's like what I was assuming.
Yeah, so, like, you know, you agree on a setting for the air conditioner in the summer kind of thing. But I could also see there being that complementary aspect as well, like we talked about with the food items, where if you're somebody that runs hot and they run cold, well, hey, if you're too hot, you take off a layer, they got a layer. You're a layer carrier.
That is pretty good. Because here's my thing. Like, this isn't particularly, like, it's not like an argument with Kyle and I, but he, like, he likes to keep the heat a little higher in his apartment because he's like, I am here. I don't want to be cold when I am at my house. I'm like, all right, fair enough. I keep it a little lower because I love layering and sitting around in blankets with my hot beverage. Like, that's just how I am. And also, money.
That too, yeah.
Not that that's even that big of a deal, but I am very much a person of, like, if you're cold, put on another layer first and then we'll talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if your home is warm enough in the winter that you don't need long sleeves, I think that's a bit excessive.
That is extremely excessive in my opinion. No, winter you need to be wearing sweaters and pants.
But I think people tend to keep their air conditioning up too high in the summer too.
Oh, 100%. I hate in the summer when this would happen to me all the time in Geneseo because some of the buildings are air conditioned, some of the academic buildings are not, which is a whole thing in and of itself. But I had so many classes in what's the building? It's attached to the Newton? Is it? No, attached to the Science Center.
Yes, that it would be Newton, the weird brown building.
Correct. Okay. Yes. So I was right. So I had so many classes in Newton where I would walk up the hill in the morning when it was still either the beginning of fall semester or the end of spring semester. So it was either summer was ending or summer was on its way. And I would be dying going up the hill to Newton, and then I would get in there and have 20 minutes of being nice air conditioning because I had just sweated my way up the hill, and then it would be freezing for my entire class. It was awful. I hated it so much.
Yeah. There's only two temperatures in buildings at Geneseo, too hot and too cold.
Yep.
That's it.
And again, I prefer the too cold because at least I can put my jacket back on.
Yeah. Yeah, people take issue with the fact that in the summer I keep the thermostat on 74 because I get cold so easily. Even then, I'm still putting on long sleeves.
Yeah, I hate the cranked up air conditioning because then everything gets so dry.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Yeah. I'd much prefer to have the windows open. I only turn on the air if I have to.
Yeah, same. And again, I absolutely, I there's there's some, somebody made a meme or made it into, Jesus Christ, excuse me, made this into a meme or or it was a meme that got made into a t-shirt. It was I hate sweating, I long for the cool embrace of autumn or whatever, and that is me. But again, it's just, I hate. And there's something about when you, in summer in particular, because you're out, you're wearing your shorts, you're wearing your short sleeves, you're wearing your tank tops in some cases, and then you go into go into a building that has the air conditioning just cranked the fuck up, and you're so guess I'll just die. I hate it.
Yeah, they never seem to be set at a reasonable temperature. I don't know who chooses these things.
No, I wish I understood.
I know who does it. It's men.
I was gonna say that it was men.
There's actual research that women, when they do surveys, women tend to prefer warmer temperatures than men. Oh, yeah. But it's men who typically set the thermostat.
Annoying.
So, yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of compatibility, I assume it means making sure you're relatively close in body temperature, but I feel that's pretty much impossible because I don't know that I have ever been in a relationship where we liked the same temperature, and I don't think I've ever known a couple that liked the same temperature.
But again, there's so many workarounds. One of you, if one of you is the layering person, you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be cold than hot, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, fine, if you run hot, I'll accept the air being colder, and I'll just put on more layers.
Yeah. Fine by me.
Yeah.
Alright. Point number 5. Survive one cold and flu season at minimum. Yes. Especially if you are a person who is interested in dating men. Because holy shit, they're babies.
I'm trying trying so hard not to say things that sound very sexist toward men. But man flu is real.
No, it's so real. Like, they act like they're dying.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't think I've ever met a single person who identifies as male who was not an absolute baby when it comes to being sick.
Oh my god. It's either that or they, like, will not acknowledge and, like, will be actively dying. Like, they are never. I've never met a man who's reasonable about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's something I think about a lot where, like, I remember guys that I've dated, like, very dramatically. Like, I remember one guy who just laid down in the middle of the living room floor, just like, I'm dying. I'm like, you have a cold. Like, you know, I've had full-on pneumonia, kept doing everything.
And you were...
I have a concussion right now.
Yeah.
I'm just pretending. It's fine.
No.
You know?
Oh my god.
And I mean, I think there's... I mean, I don't know to what extent there's a biological component, you know, because people always say that thing about women having a higher pain threshold because, you know, the giving birth and whatever. I don't know if that's actually true.
I mean, it's possible?
Yeah. But I think there's also, like, that we're sort of socialized.
Oh, 100%, absolutely.
To just, like, you gotta soldier on.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I would say this is extremely good advice, because if you find yourself in a relationship with a partner who's going to act like they're dying and expect to be waited on versus when you've got a cold and they're like, suck it up.
Yeah.
That is not going to fly.
Yeah, I think that this
one is right now.
I think that this one is something that could really be a deal breaker.
Oh, 100%.
Like, if I get sick and the person I'm dating is like, oh, you know what? Let me know when you're better because I don't want to get sick. Or, like, doesn't do anything helpful.
Yeah, no, get fucked.
Yeah, I'm like, that says a lot about you, and I am not doing this for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in that situation before, where, like, I was horribly sick, and they did nothing for me. They were just like, oh, you just be in bed, I'm gonna go do things. I'm like, alright. And then when they were sick, you know, I'm bringing them soup in bed, and whatever.
Oh, I would have gotten violent. I would get violent.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that, and, you know, he was one of those, like, man flu types as well. He was just like, I'm dying, because he got the sniffles. You know, and so, yeah, I feel like that should have told me right then.
It 100%, actually, you just remind me of the literal most random thing that, like, I thought about one time when I was just thinking about what we do in the shadows, because that's what I do when I'm bored. I so badly want them to kind of just, like, write in some sort of, like, Deus Ex Machina, whatever, where it's like, oh, under these specific circumstances, like, yeah, vampires can get sick or whatever, because man flu Nandor would be the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah. Aww.
And I also just think it would be so funny if it's like, I came up with this, it was like, man flu, I'm dying Nandor versus, like, get out of my way, I'm fine Nadja and Laszlo having to, like, try and wrangle them both. Like, my darling, please, if you just lie down for a second. Nandor, you are not dying! Get up! I just think that would be really funny, and I would like to see that. But I'm probably not going to, so I'm gonna have to write it myself. But we'll get there. Once I get through my other 8,000 fucking drafts. Anyway. Yeah, survive one cold and flu season at minimum. Sound advice, definitely.
Yeah. I think that's the most important one on the list.
Honestly, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, we're doing good on time. Would we add anything to this list?
Go on a trip together.
Yes. Travel together. Live together first. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, you even if... And, like, I personally don't agree with I don't agree with the whole no sex before marriage thing, just personally. But even if that's you, even if that's a personal choice that you're making, live together. Oh my god, at least know if you can share a bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Even
Yeah.
even if you're saving some stuff for marriage, know if you can share a bedroom.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things like habits and things like that that you don't
Mm-hmm.
know about until you live with somebody.
Yep. Yeah, no,
You
I
know, and
like you that I think that's one of the most important things. You should absolutely live with somebody before you marry them.
yeah, no way. I could not imagine.
Like again, the fact that people used to do that,
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit bizarre to just go from, oh, you seem nice because we've been to restaurants together to let's live in a home together for the rest of our lives.
Again, like the fact that anything worked out for people in the past is just miraculous to me.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, live together. And like I haven't even like ever lived with a partner, and I know that that is something that I would have to do like for myself. Be like, okay, we need to see if we can do this first.
Yeah. It's definitely, you gotta learn to compromise on things because, like, stuff you wouldn't think about, like doing laundry,
Yeah.
you know? Um, I once had a guy complain that I didn't fold his shirts the way he liked.
Oh, I would have swept his kneecaps right then and there.
It's like, really? This is the stuff I did your laundry for you, and you're gonna nitpick the way I folded?
Again, I would get violent.
Yeah. This may be the same person from before that you would get violent with. So.
You know, just please keep roasting this man. I'm having a great time.
I don't think he'd ever see this. It's fine.
It's absolute. I mean, let him feel shame. He should, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's all kinds of little things like that. And so, what if you commit? You sign a document, you have a wedding, and then you find all these things out, and you're like, I can't spend the rest of my life like this. I got decades of this ahead of me. No,
Yeah, no, I would go insane.
you gotta find those out in advance, man.
Oh,
You
100%.
can't go into it without all the info.
Although I think I have met Kyle's grandparents, and they are one of the funniest examples of like opposites working well together.
Mm.
Because they're both like they're both retired. But my mom was like, I was talking about how like I went over there for dinner once, and she was like, "Oh, so they're retired. So like, what do they do all day?" I was like, well, she talks and he listens, and it's kind of adorable. Like I kind of love it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, where did I hear that guy say this? There's some guy at one point who said something like, um, I have a problem with public speaking, but my wife has a problem with public shutting up. I
No,
was at
oh,
an event when someone said that.
no, I know what you're talking about too. It's not gonna come to me though because
Yeah.
I feel like it was mentioned even more in passing to me than it was to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, live
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, and I think the trip thing is important, like traveling together, because like I feel like that's where people's ugly side comes out a
Oh,
lot.
100%. I am a bitch.
Oh
Like,
no.
you know this. We've technically traveled together even though it was an hour away.
For a second I'm like, where did we go? Oh, I guess technically, yeah.
We did technically go to Buffalo that one time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I am a bitch.
I don't see how.
Okay, you know how I'm just like an insane neurotic person who needs things done specific ways? That.
But I didn't notice you doing those sorts of things.
Interesting.
Hmm. I'll have to think on it. Maybe I'm just forgetting things.
Maybe our weird neuroses are just oddly compatible.
Well, yeah, because you're like really specific, and I just don't care.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, there's that.
whatever, as long as it works.
Yeah, like, oh, this drives Kyle. Like, I have like, when I drive Kyle insane. Love him. Um, but when I, like, unmake my bed to get into it, there's, like, a specific order and place where I stack each of my pillows, like, off to the side. And, like, he thinks it's so ridiculous. And, like, here's the thing. Is it ridiculous? Yes, absolutely. Am I going to continue doing it and require it to be done that way? Yes.
Certain things like that, though, because it's like it's your bed, they're your pillows, you have a routine, and it's hard to like give up a routine.
Yeah. But like
So I
I
mean,
and like I'm kind of the same when I travel. Like if like I don't necessarily have the same like specific order of things, but if someone like if we're in a hotel room and somebody like just chucks the pillows off to the side and I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. We stack them." Like little things like that make me absolutely insufferable.
yeah, I actually used to care a lot more about that stuff. And then as I've gotten older and I've had more and more house guests over time, I've learned to let things go because I used to get so stressed out when I would have guests because I wanted things in a certain way.
I like to think that I am a delightful house guest because I keep things very just so, but I'm sure that I drive people nuts. And frankly,
Well,
you can tell me.
you, I mean, you didn't come here until I was well past my being like obsessive about things.
Okay, so that's fun.
Past it, yeah. But like, but like for example, one that still exists is I don't let people do my dishes.
Yeah.
Nobody's allowed.
I
And if some
enjoyed
people
when you finally came over to my apartment and understood the awkward, like, what do I do?
yeah. Like sometimes my mom will like wash a dish even though she knows I don't want her to, and I won't rewash it. I don't know why. It's not like I don't think it's clean. I just
No,
have to.
that's.
I have
I'm trying to think of
compulsion.
if I have a thing like that where I, like, will not let other people touch it. And I'm sure I do. Just nothing's coming to mind.
But the odd thing is, my brother Doug was the exact same way. He wouldn't let anyone touch his
You
dishes
told me
either.
about that.
Yeah, which is like there has to be a reasoning for it if two people in the same family have this oddly specific thing that we never talked about.
I can't. Oh, this is like a travel specific thing. I could not let somebody, like, pack for me. Like, if
Well,
someone.
yeah,
No,
no.
but no, if somebody was like, "Oh, like, your clothes are in a pile here. Let me like put them back in your bag for you." I have to do it myself. Everything has to have its little place.
Yeah, well, and you got to know where things are.
Yeah. I don't know if I have anything like the dishes thing though.
Packing cubes are life changing.
I have yet to get any of those, but they sound lovely.
So nice. Because I
Hmm.
just reach in, I'm like, where's my pajama cube?
Oh, that is so nice.
Cube
Oh,
of pajamas.
I should do that.
Where's my little tube that has like my underoos in it? There it is. They're like the little skinny ones. That's why I call it a tube. Little skinny fellers.
Underoos.
Yes. I've always, for some
No,
reason,
it's
from the
fun. I
first
like
time I
it.
heard that word, I thought it was hilarious, and I'm like, well, that's the word I'm using from now on.
No, that's fun. I am a big fan.
Yeah, I
Um,
like it.
yeah, I don't think I have anything like the dishes thing, or at least nothing that comes to mind immediately, or that like happens enough in like maybe I have stuff like that, but it's like the way I like permanently organize things, like for example on a shelf, and like that only happens like once. Like
Yeah.
once it's there, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's anything that happens like every day.
No.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think the reason a lot of that comes out in travel, like the ugliness is I feel like the best way to put it is because like there's so much pressure.
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
like if you're flying, you have like deadlines to meet, and like one person is always not going fast enough for the other person's liking, and then you're like trying to rush that person, and then they feel rushed and they snap.
No, and here's the thing, and like this is not a good trait. I know this about myself. In situations like that, I can turn into a snippy bitch. Like I know it. I try not to do it, but it is definitely possible. I have definitely done it.
I'm usually the one running late, and I get real annoyed if people keep reminding me of that. And
Yeah,
that's
no,
more like
I can get incredibly, incredibly pushy. Is this one of my toxic traits? 100%. I'm aware of it. I am attempting to work on it.
But at least when it comes to flights, I get to the airport like way earlier than I need to because I am so paranoid. So that's at least nothing.
Yeah, I want to feel safe. Also, like I'm not gonna lie, being at the airport early is fun.
Yeah. Hey, I usually bring my knitting and I sit and hang out and knit.
When we were in JFK waiting for our flight to Moscow, oh my god, we had a blast. We like went and like got the like awkward like 2 p.m. airport beer. It was wonderful. Delightful.
There's something about the ambiance of an airport.
No, airports are like the I don't know if they are a sort of liminal space, but they have like the best vibe of that a liminal space can possibly have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love airports.
Yeah. I don't think it's a vibe you can get anywhere
I
else.
love I love airports. It's so fun. Just
Well,
like
an airport.
but like you got nowhere to be like until your flight.
Yeah.
So you can kind of like it's just vibes, man.
Yeah, but I mean, that's great if you're in a nice airport,
Yeah.
too. If you're in a crappy airport, that can feel like an eternity.
This is true. Okay, so but like the vibe of being in like a nice airport, immaculate. Like, oh my god, so much fun. Like that is actually like one of my like that is genuinely such a fun part of traveling. I love it so much. Again, we had a blast just like chilling and like hanging out for like 3 hours before our flight. It was amazing. It was great. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, even if you're road tripping, I feel like there's a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
Of like, even if you don't have a specific schedule to keep. I feel like there's always one person who like doesn't want to make stops or doesn't want to stop for very long if they do. And then there's somebody who's like, "Oh no, let's enjoy the scenery."
Yeah. Yeah. And Kyle and I really want to do a road trip to to Washington where they filmed Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah.
So,
oh, that's a long one.
Yeah. So we might be finding out at some point.
Yeah. No, it's a good litmus test.
Isn't it? But yeah. I don't know if there's anything else I would add after like living together and traveling together though.
Yeah. I feel like there's got to be things that I'm just not coming up with.
I feel like there has to be some like really small thing that like could eventually potentially drive somebody crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I keep thinking of more like big things, like taking them to a family reunion and seeing how they interact, and how your family likes them and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying.
Because I feel like they could pick up on vibes that you don't.
Very possible.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about the most annoying traits people have dated.
No, I mean,
like, what could you do to
and
find out about
here's the thing:
those?
I'm thinking about most annoying traits in the single person I've dated, and they're all things where it's like I don't know, like how you would like, quote unquote, test for this, because like one of the things that wound up just like looking back, I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, he was just such a neutral person. There was just so very little enthusiasm for things almost ever. And like how do you like test for that, you know?
I mean, yeah, I suppose there's not necessarily a test, but it's like noticing a pattern.
Yeah.
Well, but would you say he like didn't have anything like hobbies that he was passionate about?
I mean, he did, but they were all just like, there wasn't like any like, I mean, there was all these like calculated, organized hobby, which like nothing wrong with that, but like there was no like nothing. Like I never saw him ever get like jump up and down excited about literally anything, and I'm like, how do you live like this?
That's true for a lot of people though, which is not a good thing, um but yeah, I mean that's something that I look for as well because I get ridiculously
No,
excited
I am
about
such an I'm a ridiculously enthusiastic person to the point where like I have had people not and like hashtag my trauma, but like I have had people not be able to continue being friends with me because they just couldn't match that like they just couldn't match that energy. And like, okay, yeah, if you're like a very low affect person, you I mean that's not necessarily something you can help, but
yeah.
like could not like I can't spend the rest of my life with someone who's never gonna meet me on that level about anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've noticed that in like a lot of the people, if not most of the people that I've dated. I mean, it sounds like I've dated so many people, but like, I am in my 30s.
Yeah, no,
But
that'll do it.
yeah, like I think with I just entirely lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
Matching enthusiasm, or
Right. Yeah. Um yeah, I think with that, oh my god, my brain just did it again.
baby
Man,
girl.
brain injuries are the worst. Like it's hard to get my brain matching enthusiasm, matching it like it won't stay on task.
That's rough, bestie. That is real rough.
Yeah. I thought I was playing it off pretty well up to this point.
I mean,
Oh,
you
and that's
have
what I was
been.
gonna say. Um, that like I get excited about the tiniest things
Mm-hmm.
like every single day. Like you've seen me in grocery
Oh
stores.
yeah, I've
Like
seen you in grocery stores many a time. It's great.
I get excited like every other thing. What's that? What's
No, and
that? You
you
know?
know how I get about shows and like you know how I get about fandom
Hmm.
and like and it doesn't necessarily have to be about the same things, but like again,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm particularly compatible with somebody who's extremely like low affect about just any and everything. We don't have to go insane over the same things. Would be nice, but might be nice, but like I
What
can't
is your
have just like someone who's just like, yeah, okay, about like everything in their life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like sometimes it's important to have some enthusiasm about the same things. Like, for example,
Oh yeah, 100%.
if I were dating somebody right now and I showed them my banana duck and they did not immediately think that was hilarious and awesome,
Oh my god,
like,
wait, you have non-broken banana duck now? I have not witnessed this.
yeah, he's downstairs.
Amazing. I expect
But,
pictures.
yeah, he's just hanging out. I haven't figured out where to put him yet.
Oh my god, I love it. Yeah, no, I've only ever seen pictures of the broken banana duck. Big sad.
Yeah, the banana duck because I bought him on Amazon. I was on Amazon a couple days ago, and it recommended to me on the front page a stuffed banana duck, and they had it in four sizes, and the biggest size was 3 feet. Imagine a 3 foot tall banana duck that you could hunt.
Kyle and I recently realized that there is I think it is like officially licensed by the Pokemon Company, but it is a gigantic plush figure of the. I'm like blanking on my Pokemon knowledge here because I think technically a legendary Pokemon, but the Pokemon Lucario, and we did the math and realized that it is taller than him. It is a giant Pokemon plush.
That's fun.
It's massive. I love it so much. I also love, and again, this is going to mean nothing to you because I know you don't really know Pokemon, but, well, actually, no. Do you know the Pokemon Snorlax?
Your initial assumption was correct.
Fair enough. Um, it's basically like a giant, like it's a gigantic cat sort of Pokemon cat bear type thing, but there's like a giant, like, Snorlax plush that's like a bed.
Oh,
because it's a Pokemon that's known for just like laying around and sleeping all the time and being
sounds
giant and
cozy.
huggable.
Sounds very cozy.
But yeah, there's like a giant Snorlax plushie that's like literally a bed. It's amazing. I love it so much. And I would totally get that, even though Snorlax is far from my favorite Pokemon.
Those lawn inflatables.
Yes.
There's somebody in my neighborhood that has, I don't know if it's technically one or there are two that are really close together, but it's like a Santa and a reindeer. 2 stories tall. It's taller than their house, actually.
Fucking hell, man. I am
2-story
impressed.
houses. And all I could think was, I would like them to deflate those slightly, and I would like to do a running jump into it, and then just.
It'd be like those pillow things that people like. They're usually like at like a lake, and it's like a pillow,
Right.
and someone sits on it, and then you have someone jump on the other end and launch them into the water. That looks fun.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try one of those things,
Yeah.
but I don't have any friends that have like a lake house or anything.
Okay, it's like I think you're gonna finish that sentence.
No. At the very least, I have friend. I'm looking right at her.
It sounded like you were done with the sentence, and I was like,
No. No, I do actually have friends, which is great. I love it. Oh, also, just random thought I've been having recently. I do not understand how anyone can ever be like, oh, I'm sorry, I would like be like mean to their friends, like when they're drinking or whatever. Like, as soon as alcohol hits my bloodstream, I'm just like, man, I suffer from I love my friends disease.
that actually would maybe be a good thing to add to the list. Like, see the
Oh,
person.
yeah. No, that is very good.
Like, are they a mean drunk? Because if that's the case,
No, screw that. Absolutely not. Like, again, I don't understand how anyone could ever like get drunk and then just be mean. Like, again, as soon as any alcohol hits my system, I'm just like, I love my friends.
I know. But I feel like people that are like that will be like, oh, I didn't mean it. It's like, but it was clearly in you,
Yeah.
and the alcohol just lowered your inhibition.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely
Like,
none of that.
so I don't know. Like, I don't think I've ever had mean thoughts about my friends that would, come out.
No. Nope.
Like that. I just nope.
Nope.
But as is known, when I drink, I tend to overcompensate to try to convince people I'm not drunk by acting like I don't know what the proper adjective would be.
Pseudo intellectual.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Yeah. So it's oh.
Because you do that, and then you also start swearing way more than you normally do.
So true.
And it's really funny. Someday, I don't know, someday we'll do shots of something on stream, and you can see what we're like. That'll be funny.
I was suggest because we recorded our last episode on a Friday, and I was going to suggest we make it a Four Loco Friday. But I'm not supposed to be drinking with my head injury.
Oh, yeah, damn it. Okay, well, you know what? Someday.
Yeah.
Someday you will see us on a Four Loco Friday.
My stepdad was in town last night, and I said something about like when I had hit my head, that I was like, man, the sound travels really well between like units in the basement, so I hope my neighbors weren't downstairs to hear the very long extended profanity that came out of my mouth, because I basically did like the loudest, most aggressive like F-bomb in the world.
I mean, that's a perfectly valid response. My father accidentally taught me the F word when I was like 6 because he hit his thumb with a hammer while he was working in my Grammy's garage, which like super valid reason.
Yeah, but I told him that, and he just like gave me and then laughed. He's like, "What did you say?" Like, golly gee. Like, oh, that's adorable. You think I don't swear?
No, I don't know. Maybe this is a like younger sibling thing. My sister, like, just like no filter, even like in front of my mom, and I'm like, Like, it's hilarious to watch, but, like, I would be afraid.
I'm the youngest in my family.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's just her, but I'm just like, girl, you are braver than I.
Yeah. I mean, just in the last few years, I occasionally slip in a swear word. I started with like the lower level, like damn kind of swear word, and then
Yeah.
I moved up to bitch. And then just last week and a half ago, Thanksgiving week, I said shitty in front of my mom and she didn't bat an eye.
Well, there you go. That's something. My
Pretending I was reading my
mother,
brother's text out loud to her.
my mother has started dropping the occasional F bomb in recent years, and it's really funny.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever heard my mom say the F word. Not that I can think of, but when she gets drunk, sometimes she's said like shit here and there, stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why when he said that, I was like, oh, that's hilarious. And like, do you honestly think
That
just
is
because I
fun.
don't swear in front of you that I
Yeah, no,
don't
that's fun.
swear?
That's funny.
You know? And I was like, I don't care how old I get, it just feels inappropriate to swear in front of my mommy.
Yeah, no, I kind of feel that.
Like, just thought that was so adorable that he honestly, you know.
Sometimes I'm like, do you not know? Like, half the time with parents, I'm like, do you not know, or do you just not want to know?
Yeah, yeah. It's like he is, in a lot of ways, like a child that has trouble with object permanence. Like that you forget something exists when you're not observing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so because he's not observing me, it's like I'm not doing the things that I'm doing when he's not observing me, and I am only the person I am when he sees me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, yeah, I feel that. Always fun.
Oh, that's cute. That's nice.
That that's cute.
Yeah.
I was correct in my estimation that one talking point would last us through the entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
look at me
we're
go.
an hour, I believe, now.
See, I promised a return to top form last episode, and I'd like to say that we delivered.
Yeah. I think so. I'll watch it back later to find out.
I have to watch it back anyway because I'm the one who has to edit it. That's always fun. But it's also made me a lot more comfortable with hearing the sound of my voice in a recording, which is kind of cool. Because there was a time when that made me want to set myself on fire.
I do occasionally, like, I usually watch the first few minutes or so just to kind of, I don't know.
Have you
Actually,
gotten used to it yet or no?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I mean, like, so, I've been used to it because I've had to do, like, videos for classes and stuff for years.
Oh, yeah.
And I also, you know, was the music director of my radio station in college, so I was doing radio.
Yeah.
Well.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this has definitely gotten me used to hearing and seeing myself recorded. Because I used to despise it, and now I'm kind of like, alright, yeah. That's a me.
Mario?
Mario. Now I'm thinking about the stupid Mario movie, and I don't need to go down that road.
A new one?
Yeah.
It hasn't come out yet, has it?
No, it hasn't. I'm just really salty about the way that we are screwing over actual voice actors.
Yeah.
But if I start talking about that, I won't stop, and this episode has already gone on for an hour.
Yeah.
So we are gonna call it.
Yeah. Instead, just remember that there's a Jeff the Talking Mongoose movie coming out, and that'll make you feel better. With Simon Pegg in it. See?
Cannot wait.
Every time I think about it, I get so happy.
Again, this is why we need to get Henry on the podcast so we can talk about this. We need to. Hong Kong. We need to. We're going to do it. That's 2023. It's coming. I'm manifesting this for us. We are going to get Henry Zabrowski on this podcast. It's going to be amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Manifesting. Okay. I think we did good. All right. As always, thank you, friends, for fighting with us. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we'll be back again next week. Adios. This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brookes. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98 and at AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!